So let's say you're a corporate leader, or maybe a professional relocating. You're part of a business team, and you've been tasked with setting up shop in a city like Hong Kong, a dense, dynamic city.
Right.
You're immediately going to face this one universal challenge.
Finding the right place to live.
Exactly. I mean, where do you find that sweet spot? It's somewhere between the huge expense of a hotel and the headache of a traditional long-term lease.
And that search for comfortable long-term stability is precisely the problem being tackled by Weave Living. I mean, we're looking at one of Asia's most aggressive rental residential operators.
And they're not just adapting to the market, are they?
No, not at all. They are actively reshaping it. Our sources show they are just charging ahead with this massive, multi-pronged expansion.
Okay, so let's unpack that mission. We've been tracking their moves, and it's pretty clear Weave Living is executing a deep structural pivot. We're moving way beyond those early days of just niche co-living. This is a full spectrum approach now.
And that's our deep dive today. We're going to distill the core mechanics of that pivot. We need to understand the three main levers they're pulling.
Right.
You've got comprehensive diversification, you've got targeted acquisitions, and the sheer efficiency of asset conversion.
And we absolutely have to look at the money behind it.
Oh yeah, the enormous financial firepower. We're talking BlackRock and Warburg Pincus. That's what's enabling this rapid growth during a really crucial moment in the Hong Kong real estate cycle. This is basically a blueprint for urban real estate expansion.
Let's start right there with the structural change, because that seems to be the foundation for all of this. We've Living, as you said, started in co-living, catering mostly to, younger professionals, students, people who like that communal vibe.
And the convenience? Ready to move in.
But now they're just dramatically expanding their footprint, especially in Hong Kong, by broadening what they offer.
And that shift is so significant. It protects them against market swings. They are no longer a single product company. Their strategy is multifaceted. It's not just acquiring existing apartment buildings, but also, and this is so crucial, the tactical conversion of hotels into long-term residential units.
What's really insightful about that is how they're segmenting the market. It's a classic strategy, isn't it? Build an ecosystem where the customer never has to leave your brand.
That's the strategic net they're casting.
Exactly.
They now operate under three distinct product lines.
Okay, what are they?
First, they've kept their entry point, the original co-living concept. Second, they have the high-service flexible option, serviced apartments.
And the third.
And third, and this is the biggest strategic leap, is traditional multifamily residential housing.
So that raises an interesting question, though. You go from the simplicity of managing these standardized, compact co-living units
Which are highly communal.
to managing traditional multifamily assets. I mean, does moving into standard residential housing dilute the premium service reputation they built?
That is the challenge, but it's also the opportunity. The difference is all in the service model. Co-living is about the experience. Serviced apartments are about maximum flexibility, think weekly or monthly terms, housekeeping, all the hotel-style amenities.
Perfect for corporate extended stays.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But multifamily is about providing a high-quality, professionally managed standard lease, say 6 or 12 months, but with modern facilities and a dedicated management team, which, a lot of traditional Hong Kong landlords just don't provide.
So the shift isn't just about diversification. It's about applying their operational skill to a more conventional but often underserved residential market.
Precisely. They are catering to a much wider demographic. They're capturing the renter's entire life cycle.
A fresh graduate might start in co-living, but when they get a big promotion or get married,
They can seamlessly transition into a serviced apartment or a multifamily unit, all under the Weave umbrella.
let's turn to the hard evidence of this pivot. Tactic number one, strategic acquisitions. They aren't waiting for new developments to be built. They're buying up operational assets. That tells me they want immediate scale.
Immediate scale and immediate revenue. Buying established properties lets them bypass years of construction time.
And the acquisition of Largos residences in Sheungwan seems like a perfect case study for their move into that high-end serviced market.
Oh, it is. Largos Residences is a substantial asset. It's a 23-story serviced apartment complex in a prime location.
How many units are we talking about?
It has 44 apartments plus retail spaces. And what's really significant here is the reported acquisition cost.
Which was...
It's approximately HK $585 million.
Okay, for anyone less familiar with the Hong Kong property market, HK $585 million for just 44 units. That is not a fire sale price.
Not at all. It's a premium acquisition. It shows Weave is targeting high-quality, high-occupancy assets that immediately bolster their serviced apartment portfolio. They're buying market share, not just distressed real estate.
But the acquisition that really cements this strategic shift beyond just service living is the property at 6 Tit Hospital Road in mid-levels. That's new territory for them.
That mid-levels asset is absolutely critical. It's being refitted as Weave Living's first traditional, standard, multifamily rental property.
So this is it, the big leap.
This is them moving out of that extended stay niche and squarely into the conventional long-term residential market. They are betting that their professional management style will give them a competitive edge over smaller, independent landlords.
All right, so that covers buying existing apartment stock. Let's analyze tactic number 2, which I think is even more aggressive.
The hotel conversion.
The hotel conversions. This is just a brilliant maneuver leveraging current market conditions.
It really is. It capitalizes on the market inefficiency created by the pandemic and all the volatility that followed. Weave is actively exploring converting underperforming hotels into long-stay rental properties.
Why is this considered so brilliant right now? What's the logic?
Well, there are 3 main reasons. First, speed.
Faster than building from the ground up.
Vastly faster. Second, lower capital expenditure per room compared to building a new high-rise. And third, they're capitalizing on that repricing we talked about. A lot of older hotels struggled post-pandemic, low occupancy, functionally obsolete, and now they're available for sale en bloc, the whole building.
So they're taking these tired, underperforming hospitality assets and essentially recycling them into high-demand housing.
It's a perfect recycling strategy.
Is there a risk, though, if they convert too many hotel rooms? Does that cause friction with, say, the tourism sector or government regulators who want to keep that short-term visitor capacity?
It's a relevant concern, but right now, the demand for this type of well-managed professional housing is so acute that the conversions are generally seen as a net benefit. The efficiency is just undeniable. And the sources indicate Weave is already in talks to acquire 2 specific Kowloon hotels for conversion.
That would be the Hotel Cozy Harborview and the Hotel Ease Mongkok.
Precisely. And if those 2 deals happen, they would instantly add nearly 800 rooms to Weave's portfolio.
800 rooms?
Think of the scale. 800 units of long-stay rental inventory added almost overnight. It dramatically changes the supply dynamics for professionals looking for a place.
This kind of aggressive scaling, buying premium service apartments, moving into multifamily, converting hundreds of hotel rooms, this all requires colossal capital. Which brings us to the financial bedrock of this whole expansion. Who is providing the confidence and the cash?
The financial commitment is really the ultimate validation of their strategy. The sources all point to substantial backing, specifically from the private equity giant Warburg Pincus.
Right, and they had a long history of investing in these kinds of high-growth real estate platforms.
They do, but what I find even more compelling is the dedicated vehicle they formed.
The joint venture with global asset manager BlackRock.
Yes, the BlackRock JV is the signal that this is an institutional-grade strategy. The entire purpose of this joint venture is to acquire properties for Weave's platform. We've even seen the JV active outside of Hong Kong, acquiring assets like Citadene's Mount Sophia for, $148 million.
So it's a dedicated war chest.
A huge dedicated war chest, marrying BlackRock's capital with Weave's operational expertise.
Why are global giants like Warburg Pincus and BlackRock focusing so heavily on the Hong Kong residential rental market right now, as opposed to, say, traditional office space, which has been so volatile?
It all comes down to stability and repricing. Residential rentals, especially multifamily and serviced apartments, offer far more stable, consistent yields than commercial real estate. And in this current economic climate, especially in Hong Kong, we are seeing a significant repricing of assets.
So assets are just cheaper than they were a few years ago.
Exactly. This environment has created a unique window for well-capitalized firms to acquire entire residential and hotel buildings, these en bloc acquisitions, at really attractive prices. They're timing their entry perfectly, buying low during a period of market adjustment, and anticipating huge growth in demand for high-quality rental stock.
It's essentially a bet on the long-term desirability of Hong Kong as a professional hub, regardless of any short-term economic bumps.
That's it. Which is why the founder, Sachin Dushi's, optimism about further acquisitions makes total sense. He's anticipating this market for professionally managed multifamily rentals to expand significantly.
And the money is there to back it up?
The robust financial backing not only supports the Hong Kong strategy, but also positions them for future expansion into other key Asian cities. Hong Kong is the proving ground, but this playbook is clearly scalable.
Okay, so if you are that professional or corporate team looking for housing, what's the big takeaway from all this?
The actionable insight is that the market is rapidly professionalizing. The playbook here involves simultaneous diversification to mitigate risk.
Moving from niche co-living to the whole spectrum.
Right. And it relies on targeted acquisitions of prime assets, like Largos residences, and using strategic conversions of underperforming real estate, like hotels, to rapidly inject new supply.
Which means more choice, standardized quality, and better management for the renter.
For the extended stay renter, absolutely. And it's all powered by that institutional confidence. BlackRock and Warburg Pincus aren't making small bets. They're betting on the long-term profitability of this model, capitalizing perfectly on the current repricing opportunity.
The convergence of capital, expertise, and perfect timing.
That's what dictates this pace of growth.
Okay, so we've tracked the strategy, the money, and the market timing. Here is our provocative closing thought for you to chew on. If this trend continues and major operators successfully convert hundreds, maybe thousands, of existing hotel rooms into long-stay rental units across Asia's biggest cities, how does that fundamentally shift the balance of housing supply and rental dynamics in those areas?
And maybe more critically, if the hotel sector gets tapped out, what's next?
What older, underperforming commercial property sector, retail maybe, or older office towers will be targeted next for residential conversion to meet this unrelenting demand?